What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Patty, and we're here to talk about an important topic today. Now, I've seen this come up in a lot of places. I've seen, comments about it. I've talked to people in Discord about it. Should you change class? That can be a fair question. If you rolled Soul Dancer and thought it was just going to be super massive heals all the time, I can understand your disappointment. If you rolled Gunslinger or Assassin and you're not really seeing the damage that you were quite expecting, or you expected to have a better hand in PvP, and might be getting bullied a little bit. I'm looking at us assassins. We catch some hands out there. It's a little rough. Um, Like, even gunslingers have like 3 different skills that make them immune to cooldown, which mean blade masters can only bully them with like half of their skills instead of 3/4 of them. It's check on your assassin friends, guys. It's hard out here. But I personally am not ringing the like I'm gonna change classes bell. Mostly because I'm waiting, for Scythe class and because I like milds. But let's skip past all that real quick. So should you change classes? In a couple of situations, I'm going to say that's 100% fine and that's completely fair. One thing I will recommend is that look at why you want to switch classes. Is it, because that you're not enjoying the character? Like, do you enjoy the active gameplay of it? And you're just disappointed in, some of the numbers and other things like that? Or are you just not enjoying the class like you thought? If you're not enjoying it, maybe look at the other classes. But what don't you enjoy about it? Do you feel like it's too passive? Look into the other classes. Watch some videos on them, some guides, all that fun stuff. See how they play. And try to do a little bit of research before you start dropping the money on it, because every time you unlock a class, the price goes up exponentially. And we're supposed to be getting more classes, and I've heard amazing things about Fighter, and Scythe looks pretty cool too. I'm actually intentionally building a Blade Master to one day go Fighter, and I'm pretty sure that my Assassin's one day going to be a Scythy boy. But we'll get there. Now, if you enjoy your class, but you also enjoy being at the top of meters, and you are not finding yourself there, and that's upsetting to you, there's a couple of things that I would look at before investing in another class, because it's going to be a lot of resources to change that over, make the changes to your core. It shouldn't be done all that lightly. And I see it happening a lot, so I kind of just want to put an air of caution to the wind on that one. There's a lot of things on skills that I think get overlooked. A lot of secondary effects that skills have that people might not realize, especially if there's a big, visual cue of a thing happening on the screen, like I'm throwing out an AoE. I might not know that there's a secondary effect to that AoE. And a lot of skills are a little sneaky. So like just on my assassin, to give you an example, if we look at switching into your dark shadow form, people might not realize that you put hunt mark on something, and if you kill them while they have hunt mark on them, it resets all of your skill cooldowns. There's a lot of and thens to your skills. A lot of gunslinger skills have built-in ability that makes them immune to character control stuff and everything, so they can't be CC'd while doing certain moves. That can be really, 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 really good, and it's not going to be something that's at the forefront of everyone's mind. So research your class a little bit more. There might be more to learn that you have not seen yet, that might give you more of an edge in some of the situations that you're frustrated in. Just my 2 cents. We can all always get better. I'm not saying that people aren't reading stuff, that they're skipping through, that they're just being lazy. No, nothing like that. This is a brand new game. We have no idea how some of this stuff works, and we're gonna do our best together. That's all we can do. Another thing that I want to touch on real fast is if you've ever played games like WoW, Um, and there's the, leveling process. Certain classes do really well in certain brackets, and some classes don't show up until the later brackets. Like shamans for a very long time were just imaginary until, level 40, 45, when they get Wind Fury, and all of a sudden they show up and they're just monsters. You know what I mean? So not every class is going to be balanced perfectly, and not every class at every level is going to be balanced. And there are just going to be some clear winners. So we're still early. Half of us aren't running around at max level yet. I think once we get to that point, we'll have a better idea of how level the playing field actually is. And I think it's really hard to get an honest view of that, for how early we are into the game. So that's kind of my 2 cents on what your perspective and kind of mindset should be when you start looking at and asking yourself this question. And still ask yourself that question. I'm not here to tell you no one should switch their classes, guys. No one should switch. I'm just trying to get people to think a little bit more about the process. So say that, you're frustrated and, you switch from say you're a crazy person. You were like, Blade Master wasn't as fun and engaging as I wanted. All right, so I'm going to, be a gunslinger now. I don't like my gunslinger. This isn't where I wanted it to be either. I'm going to be an assassin now. And say you're happy with assassin all the way until fighter or scythe comes out. And you're like, oh my god, I want that. Because you unlocked all those other classes, it's going to be really expensive to get the new ones. Especially both of them. Like, if you want to try them both with your main that you've spent the last month and some change working on, probably, you're gonna have to spend some money to probably be able to do that, because that's going to take a lot of gold, homie. So that's kind of just why I want to put a little bit of caution to the air now and get people thinking about that question a little bit more. If you're not heavily financially invested in your character and you are just time invested, alts aren't as bad as you think. If you're skipping through all the story stuff, you can hit level 45 in about hour and a half and everything. So it's really, really not that bad. I highly recommend that if you're a free-to-play player, you should have, 2 characters anyways, just because you get more benefits across both of them and everything. Once you hit your daily XP cap, you can go play on the second one for a little while, you know what I mean? If you are financially invested in your character, obviously, I would say you have to think about this much more, because if you make an impulse decision now, you can have to spend more money later. And if anything, I don't know, I'm trying to save you a few bucks. So to certain people, I do want to say just grit with it, and we'll see how things are looking a couple of weeks from now. I might have to make a video where I come up and be like, man, I was wrong, we all should have played Blade Master. It should have been 100% Blade Master game, no other classes. But do all the research on your class that you can. Any class that you potentially want to switch to, do all the research that you can, so you're making as informed a decision as possible. Check your skills, check your core, ask some questions in Discord. There's a lot of ways that you can try to, grow as a player, and I recommend going through some of those before changing classes 3-4 times. So, remember, we got some cool stuff coming on the way. Also, remember, we're just babies, and we're 2.5 weeks into the game, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I can't remember time. My life is going crazy right now, so it's hard to remember when everything's been happening. All right, guys. Okay, not too bad on time. Only wasted 10 minutes of y'all's life. I really appreciate your faces. Thank you, as always, for stopping in and checking out my stuff. If you haven't subscribed, please, baby, hit that button. You're doing your man's a real big favor. We're, a 2-month-old channel. And things are going amazing. I couldn't be any more thankful. This is hands down probably, the highlight of my life right now. 'Cause the rest of it is just a lot of stress. So, Let me know if you guys have any questions, and if you are heavily thinking about switching classes, drop me a comment. Let me know what your situation is, what you're thinking and everything. I'm not going to treat it like I'm trying to talk you down off a ledge, but I kind of want to see where everyone is on this, and see if I can provide anything that might make their lives a little bit easier. Yeah, if there's specific parts of the game where you feel like you're falling shorter than you should, that's like in PvP and everything. I've seen that question a few times. I don't want to get into all the strats right now, but there's a few things that you could probably change with your play style, to be a little bit more effective. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. Hit me with all the questions and love that you got. I appreciate your faces, and I love you all back. Let me find the record button so this actually ends when I mean to. Sweet. Okay, it's your boy. It's Petty. We out of here. Deuces.